Your Shit Post Boys podcast. I want to say 12 now. 11 or 12?
Yeah, something like that.
Unimportant. I'm here in 2021 with my brother Nine Deuce.
Yeah. Nine Deuce, what up?
Tell yourself what up.
Nine Deuce, period. What up, nigga?
If you say so, motherfucker. How are y'all doing? How are you doing? Is the question.
Well, now that you mention it, I got many split personalities. We talk to each other on a frequent basis, and all of my personalities are cool. John's doing well. John is doing well. Nine Deuce is working on shit.
You like the walking epitome of the whole you niggas need therapy and not podcast thing?
Well, I mean, nigga, you the one that you fed it to me.
But I'm a psychopath. It don't matter. I've chosen this life. I have no intention of getting better.
And this life chose me, nigga.
Hey, if you say so.
Sometimes you choose the life, sometimes the life choose you, nigga.
If you say so. Anyway, where you want to start? You want to start with the shit post, or you want to start with the bullshit?
Well, we are the shit post boys. Let's get the primary reason we're here out of the way.
Let's go. All right. So, shit post number 1, January fucking 1st.
No shit.
First one on the list, because I've been cataloging everything that I want to make sure that we actually touch on the show. And the very first thing,
this is in the thread, right?
Is it in the thread on Twitter? Yeah, it is. I gotta send you. Okay. I gotta send you the whole. You know what's wild about this first post is that she plugged her fucking podcast. She plugged her fucking podcast after she said this stupid shit. But it is what it is. But I can't say it's stupid shit because it's mad motherfuckers who related. And now I'm just thinking to myself like, ugh, what do you do? What do we do as a collective community about this? I know the answer is nothing, because usually the answer is nothing when anybody talks about what we're gonna do as far as the collective. But yeah, man, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so shitpost number 1: every girl's first hater is her mom. By MILF No Kids.
I don't even want to offer commentary. I'm sorry. I just wow. That comment is so fucking loaded with I'm sorry. I need something to feed off of. Could you please come in with the commentary for this? God damn it. I need a starting point. So could you please provide the starting point? Oh God.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Do we start with the name?
No, before that, I'm gonna go ahead and plug, because I mean, I feel like in this particular situation, it's not that much to It's not that much. It's not. I'm not crazy, or I'm not going too far if I say that this is all for attention, because literally she plugs her podcast. So shout out to literally, and I'm not joking when I say this. Shout out to literally Dumb Bitch Media.
Wait, what?
The podcast name is Dumb Bitch Media. I am not being facetious.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me play devil's advocate. Maybe she's being facetious.
What's the point? It's dead ass there in black and white. You don't need to be devil's advocate.
No. But maybe by calling it that, maybe Maybe the point is to shit
It's for
post.
attention. Yes, it's a shit post. It's for attention. I already said that. That's why I said I don't mind. I don't mind mentioning who this person is because they want this attention. So it's not like it's a person who said some crazy shit or said some wild shit and didn't know what it was.
Okay.
And didn't expect to get the attention. No, this was somebody who clearly wanted the attention, so I went ahead and gave it to him. Shout out to Dumb Bitch
Cool.
Bruh.
I have no way of commenting on this at all. Just wow. Okay. Clearly, someone has found their direction. Someone has clearly found their direction, and they are following said direction. Good for them. That's wow.
There's really not much to say
there. No, it's not. It's really not. It's not.
It's if you can't immediately kind of recognize what it is that's happening, then I mean, I don't know. Moving along.
Please, on to the next one, please.
Moving along. Holy shit. Shit post. Actually, that was the first one in the list, but it wasn't chronologically. The first one chronologically was this is a regular person, so I'm not going out of here. I'll go ahead and drop it in. Go ahead and drop it in the thread.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this is a regular person, so I'm not gonna mention their at, and I'm not gonna quote the tweet word for word, so that y'all won't fucking harass them hypothetically in the future when more than 12 people listen to this. Basically, it boils down to I don't quite understand this way of thinking, especially with like hookup culture being the thing for like people in general. Like hookup culture wasn't a thing when like I was like active in the community. So for me, I don't fully understand this, but I guess it's a product of that more so than a side effect of it. In which this person says essentially in layman's terms, if you talk to them a certain way before you even get a chance to actually meet them, they're not going to let you beat, essentially. And while the way I put it makes it sound a lot more tame than how it is, and how it doesn't sound like a shit post because of how I put it, oh, trust me, this is dumb. This is really stupid. Considering the fact that the vast majority of people, when they're meeting somebody, like isn't the current meta not to date to marry? Like, isn't that the thing now that people our age are always saying? Like, don't date to marry, date to have fun, or some dumb shit like that. Not to say that dating to marry is more intelligent, but I feel like there's a certain level of stupidity you have to have when you go into certain things and you're like, I'm not dating to marry. I think that idea within itself is pretty fucking dumb. But I don't know shit, so don't listen to me. I'm gonna let the single man talk about it. John, expound.
Oh, hell no. No.
Expound, John.
Get me out of this.
Expound.
Oh, this was a setup the whole time. No. Fuck. No. Get me out of here. No. On to the next thing, please.
No, you can't escape it now. It's too late.
No.
It's too late now, John. What are you doing? You can't go nowhere. There's nowhere for you to go.
Fuck. This was a fucking setup the whole time.
Always a setup.
God damn it. How do I know this nigga for this long and I don't know this motherfucker? God damn it.
So tell us all about the culture, John. You're the only one out here in these streets.
I don't know shit about the culture, and I'm not out here in these streets.
Hey, you're participating in it. Let's talk about it.
Dear God, no, I'm not.
Let's talk about it. We got a show to do.
Okay. Yeah, we got a show to do. Fuck. Okay. Damn it. How do I approach this?
Oh, now you trying to be delicate.
Okay.
Were you delicate last night, John?
What are you talking about? Dear God. No, listen. Okay. Okay, hold on. How do I... Okay. I am currently...
Oh, my God. Go ahead. I got to hear this. This is going to be good.
I am in these online dating app streets. And
the streets of what city specifically?
Does it really matter? Because most of them are foreigners anyways.
Yes, it matters. That's why it fucking matters.
If the pod has been, if the people have been listening to this pod, they know where I am. Do I have to say it every podcast episode? I'm in Korea.
This might be their first episode. Stop being difficult.
I'm in Korea. I'm in Korea, fam.
What city?
I'm not saying all that shit.
Like,
I'm in Korea.
Come find you in Korea, nigga. What do you?
It's not Seoul. I'll tell you that
they
much.
Can't go nowhere.
It's not Seoul. I'll tell you that much. Anyways,
what's the dating scene like there?
Shit, I don't know.
You've been there for long enough to know.
Not really, because when I first got here, no.
Where does one take a young lady of the night? In the city that you're in Korea, where do you go?
First of all, you know I'm not like that. Second of all,
I don't know what you like.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't know shit. Expound.
Number one, I'm not like that. Number two, I have no idea how one develops a social life here in Korea. You almost have to know somebody to like meet people and shit like that.
I'll be seeing you be at the karaoke spots.
You would literally never see me at a karaoke spot.
Listeners don't know that though, so it makes for an engaging conversation.
Yeah, for me to point out that you're lying. Great, wonderful, thank you.
So, who gives it?
Dear God. Listen, all of the social interaction I've had here, most of it came from hanging out with coworkers who, didn't look at me as like this tall black dude, and for whatever reason that makes me weird.
Be very careful with your response.
I do not fuck with dating your coworkers.
You don't fuck with the war?
No, I do not fuck with the war. And I don't know how to react to the forces.
Hey.
Anyways.
Is what it is. So, John, if a girl talks to you sexually before y'all link, what are you doing? What are you going to do?
If a girl flirts with me and I like her, I'll flirt back with her.
Talks sexually to you before the link.
Aren't those kind of sort of the same thing?
I don't know what you did, but we can't hear you.
You hear me now? Okay. Yo.
You there? We hear you?
Yo.
We hear you.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so aren't those the same thing? Flirting, talking sexually?
I need to know verbatim, if a girl talks to you sexually before y'all even had a chance to meet up, what are you doing?
I might talk sexually back to her. If I like her, I'm going to fucking link with her regardless of all that. I just hope she's not fucking crazy.
Hold on. Repeat that line.
I said, we're going to link regardless if I like her. Just hope she's not fucking crazy.
If you like her. What kind of girls do you like, John?
A lot of them are girls that, just generally like me, Yeah.
What?
I don't have the highest of standards right now.
What?
Jesus Christ. What are you trying to get at right now? I hate when this nigga
I have no idea what you're saying. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Whatever, nigga. I didn't mean like me in like a serious way. Like, again, my standards for people in general are, if you rock with me, cool. Hopefully it's a mutual thing. I rock with you too. If you don't rock with me, get far the fuck away from me. Leave me alone. Leave me out of your brain. And I'll do my best to do the same thing to you. That way, I'll never have the urge to want to strangle the fuck out of you. But again,
why does it have to go there? What is going on? Why did it have to go there so quickly?
In my soul, I'm a little bit of a violent person. It happens to be that way. I do apologize. My city did this to me.
I suddenly understand that shitpost. It's not so much of a shitpost now. You have some aggression issues, sir.
That's not true. My city...
that contradicts what you just said a moment ago.
My city did this to me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's like you saying the east side is worse because I'm from the west side and I don't have those same issues.
You lie.
I don't have those issues. I'll be fine 99.9% of the time. I've only had like a situation where I was willing to go to blows about some shit like one time in years. And it was totally fucking justified.
Do you want to share this story with the listeners for content's sake?
Fuck not.
Well, there you go. There you have it. I have to provide all the content. It might
still come to violence. I can't incriminate myself.
Oh, okay. In that case, fair. I mean, we talk about dumb shit. That don't mean that we have to do dumb shit. Exactly. So, you know.
More importantly, let's understand the meta of these two shit posts. In which, you know, both of these have a very particular audience, therefore they have a very particular message that you're trying to get across. There's a very large market for, I don't know, just like defining certain boundaries and defining certain relationships in a certain light that I feel like a lot of people kind of go for. I mean, even if you look at it, first, hater. We still don't even actually for sure know what a hater is in 2021. I don't think, especially not white women. Especially not a white woman named MILF No Kids. Who runs a dumb bitch media podcast. Like, what do we... Like, that tweet is not a surface level tweet. That's like a dog whistle for all the like deeply disinterested and deeply like people that genuinely believe that like a lot of shit is out to get them or a lot of shit is like intentionally detrimental to whatever it is they got going on. Right?
Yeah.
Because to say that your mom, the person who gave you life, is the first hater you have, which means that you have additional haters. Why the fuck do you have so many haters? Most of you people are fucking nobody. Why do you have haters in the first place? And that's not to say like, oh, you're nobody as in less than, but you're nobody as in you're nobody worth people putting in extra effort to hate you. Like, I can't think of a single like regular person who I just like want the worst for, unless they're just absolute fucking trash of people, like irredeemable, like not sorry for what they did in the least, don't give a shit about what the recourse is, have never thought about what it is they should do instead, have no reason to do anything instead because in some way, shape, or form, they just don't have the empathy involved to think that they should have some remorse for their actions. I don't know. It's very telling when thousands and thousands of people are like on board for this particular kind of language in this particular kind of tweet, in my opinion. And if you go further into the next one, which kind of relates, where it's like, you know, if you're too forward with your advances, they're not going to feel as attracted. And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What fucking world are these people living in where their mother is their first hater and the people that they're talking to with some sort of intention? Because isn't like the whole thing about, like appearances and making a good first impression, and you know, the whole, like, even if you get into the all the way down to the nitty gritty, and when we really start to unpack the quote unquote friend zone and just friend zone and the et cetera, isn't always it coming back to whether or not they find someone attractive. So if they find someone attractive and that attractive person is very forward and honest about their intentions about what it is they want to do with them, why the fuck are 10,000 people retweeting this shit? Like, they're not down for it. I'm very fucking, like, it's who, I don't know who's faking like you about more.
To have a meltdown, my guy.
I don't know who's faking more. The person who did it in the first place, or like the people who were applying to it in some sort of way, affirming this stance. But I will say that one of the first responses is, you know, basically like, nah, if I'm attracted to him, I'm probably gonna let that go. But like, that goes without saying. Why the fuck are you even talking to people or thinking about linking with somebody who you don't find sexually attractive?
Exactly.
So expound upon that, John. Help me understand.
And why do you
help me understand, John? You're in that world. Help me understand.
Shut up. I'm expounding upon what you're saying, and like, why would you feel the need to express this? Like, is it because
you're linking with people that you don't have sexual attraction to?
For what reason, though? Why are you putting this out in the fucking public? That's the real question. Reasons.
Usually it's monetary. I feel like in most of these cases, it's monetary reasons. Or like, it's somebody who they don't necessarily find that physically attractive per se, who they're considering giving a chance because they think they might be a good person. And I feel like they feel like you can't be a good person and a sexual person unless they're specifically like hard on attracted to you, like from the gate. And that's probably what's causing the confusion that would even breed this kind of thinking in the first place. But I don't know shit. John, you expound.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Fucking useless.
Yeah, I am.
As long as you know. All right. Should we get the next shit post? I feel like we spent enough time on this.
More than enough. Please, come on, let's go.
Oh, of course you want to go. Fucking Benedict. All right, so the next one is actually pretty interesting. It's from Missy Elliott on January 5th. This isn't necessarily a shit post. This is more so just a good talking point to begin with some things about. Shit, my bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was about to say, what?
So, hashtag fun fact. And, well, let me give you the background. Somebody tweeted about the singer Tweet, who's affiliated with Missy and the Timberland camp and all of that from way back in the day.
Okay.
They tweeted. It's so weird to say they tweeted about Tweet, but they did. And I quote: "Tweet said masturbation, but make it a bop," and they were they posted the her famous single, which I don't actually know the name of, like on the record, because this shit came out when I was in like elementary school.
Right.
But y'all know the one. It's the only tweet song that anybody knows off top, mass majority of the time. But so Missy tweets, and I quote, "Fun fact: this song was never about masturbation. It was always about her appreciating her dark skin, in parentheses, self-love, when she looked in the mirror. It was the listeners that thought it was about sex and just ran with it, and we just let the consumer's mind create what they wanted." Hands up emoji. And end quote from Missy Elliott, the legend. So, John, tell us about what you thought the song was about.
At the time, I didn't think it was about shit because, like, it was a popular song, but I had no frame of context of what the fuck she was talking about, and I didn't really give a shit because it wasn't rap. I was 9 years old at the time, my G.
It was rap. Missy was on the track.
I don't think so. Wait, hold on.
Missy is on that track, bro.
Oops, oh my. That's the name of the song. Yeah. I knew what song you were talking about, but the name of it, the title of it is Oops, oh my. I remember her saying something about her skirt dropping down to her knees or below her knees. Oh my. I don't know. That sounds like some sexual shit to me. It could be about, that's just one line. And if I just gave you that, then I don't know. I might be misdirecting you. It might be about self-love. She might get naked, look at herself in the mirror and be like, okay, I'm dark-skinned, I'm beautiful, so on and so forth. But
have you ever looked in the mirror and thought to yourself that you're beautiful, John?
Yes, Maurice. I've looked in the mirror and called myself fucking beautiful. Do I look or sound like I've done some goofy shit like that?
Why's it gotta be goofy? Why can't you have self-love too, nigga?
I do.
So have you ever looked in the mirror and said, wow, that's a fine motherfucker? You never said that.
God. God.
This shouldn't be so awkward. Why is this awkward for you?
What is with you? Have you ever done some shit like that?
Of course. I look myself in the mirror every day and go, His Illustrious Imperial Majesty. Wow, look at this nigga. Wow, I'm so fucking lucky I get to wake up to this every single day. 400 years of slavery couldn't stop His fucking majesty. Oh shit! Let me stop joking before somebody take me serious. Oh shit! That's funny as hell.
Oh goodness! Stop! Just stop.
But what's fucked up? It's niggas who definitely wake up and feel that way. Like, these cannibal whites couldn't stop all this black melanin skin if they tried. Oh my god! Oh, we gonna get into the whole cannibal thing later on. Oh my god! Oh my god! My eyes are just
Oh fam.
My eyes are red.
Gotta relax.
It's all good. It's funny. But let's look deeper here. So.
Oh goodness. Okay, so
one of the replies to it. One of the replies to it, yo. Wait, no. One of the replies to it. One of the replies is dog. One of the replies is, I quote, "Oh my god, now I feel like an idiot." This definitely made me feel like masturbation was okay in high school. He's even on my masturbation playlist today.
And dog,
What the fuck?
Ain't nobody
What
really say no
the
shit like
fuck?
that.
Oh,
Nobody said
shit.
that. Nobody really said that.
Bruh.
No one said that.
And then Missy blew D'Angelo spot up. Yeah. In one of the replies, somebody was like, yo, here's
Nigga.
tweet talking about the record. And there's Missy like, I don't know your age, but do you remember when D'Angelo wrote Brown Sugar and people thought it was about sex, but he had us singing about good ass weed? Brown Sugar was about weed! Who could have guessed? What a plot twist!
What?
Nigga.
Hold the fuck up. Wait, hold up, son. Hold up. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Hold up, dog. Hold up. Hold up. Brown Sugar by D'Angelo is not about sex, it's about weed.
It's about weed. That's what Missy said.
I feel like Missy is trolling us. I feel like Missy is trolling.
Do you really want the song to be about D'Angelo getting laid that bad that you won't even listen to Missy?
No. I feel like for Missy to be doing all of this quote unquote debunking, it's just like, okay, similar. Now I'm about to turn into Missy. Fuck. Remember when T-Pain went on a string of tweets talking about we had been like reciting the lyrics to songs and shit that he had been on wrong the whole time?
Yeah.
Similar to that. I feel like niggas are trolling. I feel like on a board day an artist.
How do we confirm that he's trolling or not?
You go back, you listen to the song, which is probably
what you hear might not be what he said. That won't be the first time.
But hold on. Give me a second. I'm reading these lyrics right now from Oops Oh My. Reading lyrics and shit.
Oh boy, don't hurt yourself.
I won't. Hush, relax, calm down, fam.
I'm relaxed. Don't burn your motherboard out here.
Think deep. Don't let it fry your motherboard. Let's see.
At least read them out loud, nigga. We doing a broadcast. What are you doing?
Oh, damn, my bad. Okay, so the first two verses, it does like seem like a thing where she's just appreciating herself, but I think the thing that everybody gets caught up on is the bridge where it says, I was looking so good I couldn't reject myself. I was feeling so good I had to touch myself.
Does touching yourself automatically mean masturbation, though? How broken of people are we?
Exactly. The lyrics are very vague, are very vague, and like the first two verses, it sounds like she's describing someone else, although it could have been her. Wait. No. Hold on. Nope, never mind. First verse, it sounds like she's talking about somebody else. From his body so buttery brown. Now, I don't even want to go down that route. No. I don't even want to go down that route. I'm not even going to suggest that. No, but from his body seems very, like specific.
I mean, it could be a metaphor.
I'm sorry.
It can be a metaphor.
4.
I don't know, nigga. It can be a metaphor though. I don't know.
Still so. I'll tell you what I did last night. I came home, say about 2:45. Still so high, hypnotized in a trance from his body.
It could be a metaphor. Body of Christ. She went to church. Am I wrong?
Then who's the buttery brown person?
Jesus was a brown person.
Okay, yes, no, I don't refute that. But
And he was a
okay, so what you're saying is that Jesus makes Tweet horny.
I didn't say anything of that sort. You said that sentence, sir.
Hush. You made the implication.
I didn't make any implication. I said she could be talking about Jesus and could have went home and be like, wow, I'm really beautiful. And touched herself on the shoulder and then went to sleep.
Okay. We're moving on.
Now we got to move on. You said
we've been had to move on. No, we've been had to move on. No, we've been had to move on. We are in territory that we should not be in. Listen, Tweet song could either be about masturbation or it could be about self-love.
Missy said it's about self-love. Tweet said it's about self-love. Are you not believing black women right now? You fucking
okay, then in that case, D'Angelo likes to get high on some shit. In that case, D'Angelo also likes to get high on some shit called brown sugar. Then, if I have to believe,
I mean, why not? Weed back then, like brown was a shade that weed came in back then.
Fair enough. I've seen brown weed before, so yeah, you have a point. And weed has like hella aliases.
A million aliases. Nobody has more strains than weed at this point. Not even COVID. Not even.
Is that a strain? Is that a strain of weed?
I mean, give it a couple of years. Realistically.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to the last shit post. January.
Please. This is going so terribly.
It's not going to get better for you. What are you saying?
This is
not going to get any better. I promise. It's only getting worse.
It's not. This is starting off so terribly bad.
For you. Not for me. I'm having fun.
I hate that you despise me so much.
I don't despise you. You just be easy to knock off. You just be easy to get off your center with. Like, it's just every little thing comes up and it's just like, I don't want any parts of this. What is happening to me? Why do you hate me? Hey, bro, it's not that deep.
It's not, but I mean, in the same token, I want no parts of the controversy.
Anyway. So, and I quote, well, I'm not going to quote it exactly, but basically what it boiled down to is people were talking about Cardi B turning WAP off when her daughter entered the room. And people were like, you know, that's what you should be doing. Instead of trying to make her a role model, make celebrities more role models, you should be parenting your own child. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, that's a complete contradiction of everything they've said prior. Not this person in particular, but just in general, as far as like what the culture has talked about when it comes to that sort of shit. Like, and I've been like on the front lines of like, you know, y'all want us to love this song. Y'all say this song is, you know, about liberation, et cetera, et cetera. But like, this shit is just kind of a service act in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's half naked women gyrating in the video. How are we supposed to hate this? Per se, I have only watched the video one time for reasons that I haven't necessarily talked about on the podcast. But like, I don't want to go in depth about it. I still don't want to talk about it on the podcast. But anyway, but yeah, like that's the whole thing. I think that's kind of an oversimplification of what like people who have been trying to censor this content a little bit have been trying to get across. And that's kind of where the entire internet is, because even IG is like shutting down like overly sexual content. Twitter is not yet. Twitter banned Trump but didn't ban sexual content. You can still watch somebody fuck like a chicken on Twitter, but Trump can't have an account. Not to say that I even want him to have an account. Like, I'm glad that I don't have to see this nigga's crazy ass tweets no more. But to ban him from the platform and remove like all the competing platforms from the stores and all of that other shit because of all this talk of, protecting people, which is kind of where, the source kind of argument of this tweet lies, where it's like, you have to be a parent. You have to keep certain things away from your children. And if you don't, like, you're to blame. But on that same note, WAP was on YouTube completely unedited. Unless it was edited. I don't know. I didn't watch it on YouTube. I don't watch shit on YouTube. I don't watch anything on YouTube that isn't YouTube specific content. Anything like that I would have watched on Tidal. Higher quality, blah blah blah. But yeah, like, I don't know. How do we move forward if we draw the line at you have to protect your children from shit, and people are like, yo, we gotta protect the children from this shit, but it's like you have to do the bare minimum rather than doing something that is overt and actually proactively protective. Like, you can be 13 with a YouTube account, right?
Yeah.
So I think WAP will be blocked for you, but I'm not positive. I haven't been able to, excuse me. I haven't been able to confirm that or not. But should there be adult content on YouTube in the first place, hypothetically, if 13-year-olds are allowed on there? I'm of the party that there needs to be a complete separation of adult content of that nature, of overtly sexual nature or overtly violent nature, that shouldn't be on mainstream platforms at all. Like, porn shouldn't be readily available on Twitter with absolutely basically no fucking, like, there's no, how the fuck do you tell? How do you tell if your child has seen porn or not on Twitter? Or how do you actually, in some way, shape, or form, protect it if those images are not necessarily censored the way that they would be on any other platform?
I don't know. I feel like somebody would have figured out a solution to this by now, but honestly, I don't think anybody really gives a fuck. Honestly, I don't. If you want my honest opinion, I don't really think anybody gives a fuck, because I don't think anybody really thinks about, like, I honestly don't think about, I don't think that anyone considers how all of these things could reach very small children and, audiences that should not be exposed to certain themes and content, and the impact that would have. Nobody really considers that. Nobody really thinks about that.
And that quote, get them young, give them fun, get them dumb, where they don't know no better. Well, it ends after, get them dumb. Not gonna mention who that is. If you don't know who that is off top, then I don't know what to tell y'all. But hypothetically, if somebody wants to sell you this kind of content, the best thing to do is to get it to you while you're young, right? Because, I mean, to this day, I don't think my 63-year-old mom has ever seen the video and doesn't know about it outside of just like the conversation around it. But I know that, like, it's inevitable for my nieces and nephew to be exposed to this because they're young. And young kids have way too much access. Not enough parentage as this tweet kind of admits to, in the grand scheme of everything that we're talking about. People aren't parenting properly. And the majority of parents, or the majority of the idea of where kids get everything from as far as parentage, is the mother. I don't know. Like, that's something that came up in a conversation I was listening in on, earlier this week where they were like, a kid gets his culture from its mother. I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that, but like a lot of people believed that in that conversation that was happening. And I was like, I never thought about it that way because a lot of my culture comes from my father because I had an active father in the home. Like
right.
a lot of his ways, a lot of his folk ways, a lot of his ideas, a lot of his history and culture was passed down to me. I didn't actually get too much from my mom. To this day, I still don't know a whole lot about my mom's family and heritage and things that are necessarily important to her outside of obviously her family. Not for lack of asking, but just I've just kind of gotten the pretty generic answers from her about certain things. I hope in the near future that at some point she really starts to talk to me about her dreams, aspirations, and things, and life path, and how she considers things, and what it is that how she feels about things in a very human way. But that's a matter of timing. What the fuck was I supposed to be connecting this to?
Cardi cutting off a WAP when her daughter came into the room or something of that
Correct.
nature.
No. That is, yes, correct. You're absolutely right with that. But there was something else that happened this week that made me go, "Oh, how am I supposed to connect these ideas?" Right. So, in when that popped up, I got into the Discord and I was talking about, I made a statement and I quote, I was trying to read off the conversation.
Oh, that's where that conversation came from.
Because
I had no idea what the fuck y'all were talking about.
That's not where it came from per se, but whatever. I'm gonna just read it off for people so that we can fully contextualize where all this was headed before I really talk about what the crossover is. All right, so James mentioned about the teacher with the jump about the substitute teacher out in Africa who posted that video that was wildly inappropriate, considering there was kids around and she had the pants were so tight, like bruh, they were cutting off circulation to her ankles. I never bought into that whole, oh, she's just shaped that way. No matter what she'd be wearing, she'd be shaped that way, and it would be considered inappropriate. Why are they policing bodies? No, those pants were too small. We could see the indentation it was making as a consequence of literally just being too fucking small. Get a fucking tailor. On top of that, like, she was literally, let me put it this way. She has a lewd Twitter account to begin with. I don't think that she should be a substitute teacher the same way that I don't think somebody who in any way, shape, or form does sex work should necessarily be a teacher, and especially not making content in the fucking classroom with the kids. But that's a conversation for another time. Let's get to this. The clothing isn't common. The ass itself, is that a common size for African women? Common, and I replied, common, in quotes, no. Internet has made us think that every woman in Africa is built like Cherokee. If you don't know who that is, I don't know what to tell you. But the reality is it varies. There's only a 20%, and I was wrong when I said this. There's only a 20% obesity rate in South Africa, if I recall correctly. They be skinny as well. I know that sounds like a huge leap, but when we're talking about all caps thick women, that's usually the best indicator if you want to pinpoint hypothetically where they at in the world. And then I corrected myself, it's 28% in South Africa. And then I, just kind of analyzed the video. The clothes was too tight. She definitely needed a bra. She looked out of place and unprofessional as shit before anything else. Like, before we even get to the sexual part, like, the shirt with no bra was a bit much for the fucking professional workplace. In my opinion, I don't know what the codes are over there, but I know for a fact that if I seen the teacher dressed that way, I know I'm not going to. I know my child is not in the institution where I want them to be.
Fair.
for me. You know what I'm saying? And I talked about, the kids were all in uniform. And, she dressed like literally she waiting on a nigga in a white beater and Tim's to come through the door like, well, what do we have here? If you don't know what that's a reference to, again, you're too young to be listening to this podcast. Turn this shit off. But this is the shit post, boys. We are here to study the meta, not the content. Willing to bet she's a substitute teacher, which I was correct. And that video, I said photo, but it was a video. Video is probably old. The question of why, it's a great way to kickstart her following on social media. Therefore a gateway to like Fashion Nova, extra money in a pandemic, and those schools are probably still closed over there right now. So she probably don't have nobody in the classrooms. But she took that video in the classroom, which is still really fucking disturbing. Because again, I always stop to think, like, despite like the nature of what happened there, I always stop to think, like, what if a man was doing this? What if it was a nigga in the classroom wearing extra tight joggers, showing off his meat print, and taking video of it while the kids are in the classroom? We would burn this nigga alive. Rightfully so, burn this nigga alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there's certain shit you just don't do. Certain places are supposed to be sacred. And regardless of what people think is acceptable or not, that shit is completely fucking unacceptable to me. So if you disagree, I don't really care. I'm not here to agree or disagree with your ass. That shit is unacceptable for me. 100% unacceptable for me.
I'm with you. You have no enemy in me.
I'm saying in general to the public, not to you.
No, I know that, but I'm just making sure that my stance on this is clear.
Yeah. So, like, there's a weird, like, energy about her even posting that, let alone having created the content. It's one thing when people create certain content and they regret it. She had no fucking regret. She knew exactly what the fuck she was doing. She had an aim. She had an angle. She knew exactly what it is she wanted to do, what it is she wanted to get out of it, etc., etc. That's really fucked up, in my opinion. But again, I'm biased. I have a very biased opinion about it, so it is what it is. And I went on to further expound, many women have hopped on that train of, I can make, good money just masturbating on the internet. And if I got to do some weirdo shit in order to get there, and people have been doing weirdo shit for quite some time. And the unfortunate side effects of Twitter being this open marketplace of discussion of ideas and posting shit, and some of it's unavoidable. I've gotten to the point where, I've literally seen people like fucking masturbate in a fucking Walmart parking lot. Like, bro, again, there's kids and shit around. There's people who don't. That's sexual fucking harassment. That shit puts you on the terrorist watch list. We'll get to terrorist watch lists later on, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, that's a lot. That's a fucking lot for me. I don't need extreme masturbation videos. I don't need any of this shit to begin with. But even if I was like a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, seeing that shit would probably fuck me up as far as like my understandings of what's happening. Because I wouldn't have the context. I wouldn't have the adult mindset where I'm like, where I can distinguish what is fucked up from what is like just weird kinky shit. What was I saying in there? Like that one pastor who's now riding dildos. Right, there's a fucking pastor who quit the fucking parish and started OnlyFans. Like, these are the types of people I'm talking about. These are people that are trying to get money by any means. They don't give a fuck about the shit that they doing. The job that they doing is like a job that they fell into 9 times out of 10, or they had some great social fucking awakening about what it is they're supposed to be doing or what it is they enjoy doing, which is fine also, but that's kind of fucking crazy when you stop to think about it. But yeah, like I broke it down, like, if you fed up with your job, with what you're doing, you don't care anymore because you see all these huge ass numbers that, regular people are getting as long as they feed a fetish and as long as they commodify their bodies and their time and their energy. It's only a matter of time before you turn to shit like that. It's only a matter of time before somebody opens an OnlyFans, because why the fuck not? You have a situation where people need the money. You have a situation where people are already kind of addicted to the attention that it brings. And, to an extent, you already have a community. It's not necessarily the healthiest community, but there is already a community for it. And, I've had conversations with people where they're dead ass like, I'm just going to start an OnlyFans. Fuck it. Why not? If that platform is the superior platform to Patreon or whatever else it is that they're doing, where they're selling things that are not quite, all the way lewd, their idea is, why not? Why not do that? I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't necessarily rock with it, but it's not my fucking business. It's literally their business, quite literally and metaphorically. But I was saying, yeah, people want attention more than anything else. You tack money onto that, and attention can outperform anything your actual friend or family can do. And yeah, you're gonna choose the bag over your reason, over your logic, over anything else every fucking time. Even at the expense.
I'm sorry, did you say people want attention more than anything else?
More than anything else, yeah, people want attention.
I don't know. I'm looking at the chat, and that's not exactly what you said, fam.
I mean, yeah.
Oh wait, you're right. People want attention more than anything else.
Like I said what I said, but there was a particular intention I had behind it. In any case,
that's my little pot shot at you. I give you one.
Bro, you can say whatever you want. I'll say it. I don't give a shit. I was saying it because there was a very particular intention I had behind it. I said it the way that I said it because we were talking about a very specific example of it. But I said, and I quote, women want attention more than anything else. But it was in direct response to what it is that we were actually examining there, which was literally a woman going above and beyond to get attention for her OnlyFans or whatever service that she subscribed to or signed up for. And yeah, even at the expense of the kids you're supposed to be teaching, parents, your own kids eventually get that. Eventually, as that negative stigma begins to go nuclear in their teenage years, in terms of, as much as people say, oh, I'll just teach my kids to expect and respect and whatever else. Nah, bro, that's not how it works. Because you have all these outside external factors that are going on because you've devalued certain parts of yourself and allowed certain parts of yourself to the public that people have never really done before without some sort of recompense or some sort of fucking, reckoning later on. Like, it's very difficult to have that conversation with a child who is deeply, deeply embarrassed because the people that he doesn't like or the people that she doesn't like have all this access to their parent who they covet, who they love, who they care about. And that's the thing, like, oh, well, you made money off it, but did you make that much money off it? Like, unless you hit the fucking, like, top tier and made, like, a ridiculous amount of money and everybody's set for life, it's no amount of money that you can make underneath that amount that's going to have your kid thinking, oh, this was a great idea and everything is cool because this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you have flipped that into something marvelous, unless you flip that into something to be proud of, your kid's probably not going to respect the fact that you did it. As much as you want them to, as much as teaching as you want them to do, they're still going to have to contend with all of those ghosts and demons in your closet regardless. And I think even Cardi B understands that, which is why she did it in the first place, as far as removing her daughter from the room when she was playing the song that she created. Unless I'm wildin'. I mean, stop me if I'm wildin'. Stop me if there's a dissenting opinion.
I'm sorry, I can't find a dissenting opinion anywhere in the room. Please keep going.
I mean, yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like, even the people that are like the beacons of, empowerment and women's sexuality are still like, yo, don't expose the kids to that. And that's kind of why I don't understand why I get killed for saying it. Like, even Cardi B is not trying to expose her child to it. Well, I don't think I'm that far fetched. I don't think I'm that far off base when I'm saying what it is I say. As much as people might hate it, as much as people might, disagree, well, here's your evidence that I'm not the only one who thinks this way. Even your Jesus thinks this way.
People like to latch on and live vicariously through experiences and shit that they pick and choose. Number one, and number two. Okay, hold on. Let me back up just a little bit. Pick and choose experiences to live vicariously through, not really knowing the full extent of what it means to be that person in their shoes in that particular situation. Just the dark shit, or the dark side of things that music tends to quote unquote glorify, or glorify next to a question mark, because some of it is glorification, others it's just getting your shit off. We pick and choose these people and specific events of their lives to experience and live vicariously through as they perform personal shit, or as they perform shit that was really just intended for them. But and so when people who may see a bigger picture or a bigger thing at play voice their displeasure about it, because there is, again, where there are those of us who acknowledge that this shit isn't as glamorous as the masses will lead themselves to believe. I don't know, I guess people feel like they're being attacked, which is stupid, because my whole thing at the end of the day is, you don't know this motherfucker from a can of paint. So, my mother's whole thing when I was growing up was, I could listen to the music and shit. I might even learn the lyrics to songs and shit like that. But God forbid I say something I had no business saying. My mom smacked the shit out of me. Number one. And number two, if my mom felt like I was enjoying a song too much, her whole thing was to have some sort of retort like, well, I hope you know your fucking multiplication tables like you know this damn song. Guidance.
Which is fair.
Guidance. I guess the question you're trying to raise is, where's the guidance and where's the consideration for, young people? Which neither you nor anybody else should be killed for that. I'm not saying that we should go around policing motherfuckers, but, we should be a little more mindful, a little more respectful. Just a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like, guidance isn't really the thing. People don't even necessarily need guidance, or guidance isn't really the main theme that I'm trying to stress to people so much as just being able to make clear distinctions between what is actually appropriate and what is appropriate because a bunch of niggas on Twitter said it.
Don't you think that requires some sense of guidance from some older person who knows better?
Oh no, that requires common fucking sense. I don't think you need anybody to tell you, like, yo, don't be talking about wet ass pussy
common sense
4-year-olds. Like, I feel like nobody older needed to tell me that.
Common sense ain't common to everybody.
Of course, but that's what I'm saying. People need common sense more than anything. In this particular case, this isn't something that can just railroad you out the gate. People have all these signs in the culture that already exists that can lead you to the answer about whether or not something is appropriate to just have free access to, right? Because we lock everything up normally. Like, there's an explicit tag on all this music for a reason. There's a reason that you can't play this shit if you don't have explicit shit available or unlocked on your phone when it is you download these apps to listen to this music in the first place. There's a reason that there's a warning label on the shit by default, no matter the fuck what. Right? Like, there's a reason I have to check box that this is not, despite it being a kid's character who's kind of our mascot in Plankton, I have to check a box that says this is not for children. You don't need an older person to tell you. Society already has enough rules in place for you to infer these things.
I was more or less referring to children when I said guidance, but hell yeah, there's probably
that too.
some.
In both of these situations, whether you're an adult who is raising children or an adult who's taking care of children or you're a child yourself, there's all sorts of signs that tell you this is not for you or this is not for them. Whether or not you listen to it is an entirely like personal decision and choice at that point.
I'm not even talking about music and content at this point. I'm just talking about life in general.
I'm saying in general as well, yeah. Honestly, like, it's not, it's not that deep, but it's that deep now because it's that deep currently in this particular conversation because it has literally been an entire uphill battle for a very long time about what is or isn't appropriate. As much as I love M, I'm not playing M around my niece and nephew. Hell no. I know that off top. I'm not going to. Like, once they hit a certain age, if that's what they want to listen to, if they have an appreciation for that sort of stuff, sure. But like, no time before that, no. I'm not doing that. People can do whatever the fuck it is they want, but I think that in a sense of just what it is that is supposed to be instilled in the child, I think it's very conflicting when you give them violent and explicit and sexual content without acknowledging their age and their understanding and development and how it can be hampered or damaged by what it is they're consuming. Like, every time somebody comes into like my day job and like they're buying fucking Grand Theft Auto for a 10-year-old, I'm just like, what the fuck? Do you even know what happens in this? It's hyper realistic murder and violence porn. Like, bro, it's not even that, it looks like amazingly lifelike, but it's close enough as far as simulations of what reality is like for somebody who's underdeveloped to have a very adverse reaction to it. No, the shit is not for 8-year-olds. This shit's not for 10-year-olds. Oh, I got an 8-year-old. All they play is Grand Theft Auto. Bro, that motherfucker is going to have some problems moving into the future. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wilding, let me know. But yeah, man. I don't. Moving along. Is there anything music related we want to? Do we really want to talk about this Royce and Benzino shit? Do we really need to talk about this Royce and Benzino shit?
No, but I feel like you want to anyway, so
I'm not gonna hold you up. I don't really want to.
Then let's not do it then.
For sure. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, that's just like, it's a lot of ego shit. It's a lot of shit that I don't know about as far as how people feel in the whole scenario. So I think it's just best if I shut the fuck up. Honestly, I feel like it's best if everybody has shut the fuck up. As far as like people on the outskirts who were in so much shit before and trying to like egg that on or push that to a point where it was no longer just words. Especially now with everything that's going on in the country and everything. And that brings me to my next topic about words and how we use them kind of in vain sometimes. And that's with this whole like, oh, they're terrorist thing, but like, bro, I don't know what happened between like last summer and today, but niggas not keeping it a buck. Calling these old white people, old out of shape white people terrorists because they pushed their way into the Capitol building because nobody wanted to kill them because they're old out of shape white people. These niggas are not domestic terrorists. I know that, you know, everybody wants to be on the right side of history and everybody wants to say the right thing so that they don't get a bad rap for it. But bro, these motherfuckers are not terrorists. If these motherfuckers haven't killed anyone, the only person who died was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't want to be in a position where I have to defend people who I don't give a shit about. But I do have to stop and give pause to what it is that we're talking about and how it is we're talking about it, because that's how I view and that's how I deal with the world as far as analysis. You know what I'm saying? Like, cops were killed, but not this time. Cops got injured during the riot, but after that, you know, nothing got burned down. Nobody was nobody was killed except on the rioter side. Young woman who was shot in the neck, who people have been joking on like all week, which I still don't get. Like the first time I knew for a fact, like, oh, somebody got murdered because of some shit said on Twitter, it turned my blood cold because I knew that it only gets worse from there. As soon as that was the first time that I seen social media influence somebody into murder, I knew that it was only a matter of time before things got drastically, depressingly worse for everyone. And I feel like we've seen that time and time again over the course of the last few years of such fucked up shit happening that would have never happened if people didn't have all this access to each other. That doesn't directly relate to the whole terrorist thing, but stopping to unpack, I've never liked the word terrorist. I've never liked how it's used. It's always had a racial connotation to it. And I don't think that you can eliminate or reduce how much of a racial connotation it has to it, especially against brown people, if you start using it for white people who are legitimately not fucking terrorists either. Because it takes an illegitimate word in its usage and it makes it even further illegitimate. And I'm just like, what the fuck is any of this shit about? Like, is it a fitting in thing? Is it is there some sort of concerted effort to kind of rebrand the word terrorist and make it exclusively for white people? Which, you know, if that's what you want to do, fine, I guess. But it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't make anything better. It doesn't bring anybody back. It doesn't have a net positive. I don't see a net positive outcome of it.
Could I possibly just like throw a slight little wrench into this shit? You know,
be my guest.
I'm a nigga for words and etymology and shit like that, right? You understand that, right?
Be my guest.
So, if a terrorist is someone who engages in terrorism, and terrorism is, again, anything that, you know, puts people in a state of terror, and terror is extreme fear. People are legitimately afraid. Not me. Nobody on this call.
What people are legitimately afraid of what?
People are afraid that this is going to somehow interrupt this democracy. People are afraid that...
Bro, we've been disrupting this democracy for the last year. Now that other people are disrupting the democracy, now they're terrorists. So does that not mean that everybody's a fucking terrorist? Does it not cancel out at that point? And that's what I mean as far as like what are we even talking about? right? Because we were protesting to disrupt democracy because the shit wasn't right, right?
Right.
Right, and they legitimately believe that also the shit isn't right, so they're disrupting democracy. There's no difference from that standpoint.
No,
there's
not.
difference in its mechanics and its history and the people involved, of course. But for the surface level of what it is that's happening and why it is that's happening and the things that are actually happening, it's no fucking different. I don't want to call protesters terrorists under no circumstances.
Fair enough.
Unless they're like, yo, we're about to blow this bitch the fuck up unless you give in to our demands, you're not a terrorist.
Yeah, no, but I think the point that I'm trying to
fuck up, give in to our demands, they're not terrorists. Not yet, anyway.
The
but I don't think that you can lump
make
in the people who will do violent acts, who have plans to do violent acts, from the people who are there kind of for a photo op. And we've seen all the
point
photos.
that
We've seen the people climbing up the walls, etc., etc. That's not a fucking terrorist. That's an idiot.
Right.
That's an idiot who's not going to do any harm to any of the shit that's in there. And even if they
The
did do harm to that shit, who the
I
fuck cares? Y'all been pulling down fucking statues all summer. Again, you don't look that different in your actions from these people. That's why I don't want to call them terrorists, because I don't want to be a hypocrite.
The point that I suppose I am trying to make is that this country is so fucking divided, and the divide is rooted a lot in fear. Whether it's that we fear for our lives or that we fear for our voices being heard, a lot of us are divided, and the division is rooted in fear, and it's no. Some of that fear is justified. The rest of it, not so much. Yeah. Gathering in groups peacefully to say, "Hey, stop fucking killing us," is completely different from, "Hey, our president was an elected president again." Yeah.
Oh yeah, that part is absolutely different. But I don't believe that everybody who was showing up to those protests was gathering because they wanted police to stop killing us. I believe a lot of those people just wanted police to start killing the people that they wanted to kill. And I've talked about that in depth about how a lot of it isn't they want to reduce police power. They just want more police power that they feel in control of. And if they can't control it, then they want it gone. I wholeheartedly believe the vast majority of people who were at the protests, if they had better control over it, if they could have made the police start shooting in DC a couple of days ago, they would have done it. I don't think that they want less policing. They want less policing that is a detriment to their people, and I fucking relate. Don't get me fucked up. I'm saying this shit because I'm being objective, but I fucking relate to the idea. I fucking relate to the sentiment. But relating to it is not necessarily agreeing with it or condoning it. Especially not those specific intentions. I condone and identify with figuring out better policing, 1000%. Figuring out how to remove people who are a detriment and violent towards their community from positions of power. That I'm riding with all day. But if we're going to keep it 100% honest, there's a lot of niggas who have no interest in that. And they just want to weaponize shit how they want to weaponize shit. And the fact that they can't weaponize shit means that they're on the side of removing shit. There's certain areas that can't survive with less police. It's just not reasonable. It's not realistic. There's no way in fuck.
Right.
If anything, they need more policing in those areas. They need better and more policing. Both. Not just one, both. Better policing is a good start. More policing can happen after better policing starts. I agree. But let's not
figure out a better system and add to that.
Yeah, let's not substitute that truth for a more vague interpretation of what everything is that's happening. Because we have to be very specific in our intent and very specific in our words as a consequence of everybody thinking this shit is a monolith and we all should be on the same page about shit that we're not on the same page about and we'll never be on the same page about. I'm never going to go down to fucking protest with y'all. Whether it be about my president not winning, whether it be about all of that police shit that needs to change. No. I'm going to be active in my community in some way, shape, or form that's going to hopefully begin to influence things where I live at. And if everybody is doing that part, there's no need for us to go all down and show up and make all these speeches and get all these symbolic victories and give all these checks to people who just kind of show up to say the same shit that we already know all the time. There's a lot of work to be done on the ground. There's a lot of work to be done on the ground. I think people recognize there's a lot of work to be done on the ground, and voting is important. Voting has always been important. I've never cared about voting for president because it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme outside of just like really, really fucking bad ideas that negatively impact the world. And I know it's a bit of a contradiction, but y'all got to keep in mind, I don't live in the whole world. I live in a very specific sector of the fucking world. As long as that specific sector of the world doesn't have the power by itself to elect the president, I can't give that much of a fuck about the president, the office of the president, to be specific. We don't pick that shit. That's an amalgam of everybody's interests in the entire U.S. at the end of the day. I can't expect there to be anything that can be offered to me specifically in my small subsection of Southeast Michigan. Right?
Right. You got a point.
So, is what it is. Any other topics you wanted to touch on? We had hour and 23. I want to start wrapping it up, honestly.
Damn. Can we get to some lighthearted shit for like at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that?
I said you can get to whatever the fuck you want to get to.
But see, I ain't got no topics though. I feel
That's
like
your fault.
No, it isn't. Not when I don't know when I'm going to be recording.
I said we was recording today. You put a time in the Discord and everything.
You know how many times you said we recording today?
I'm not about to fight you. I'm not about to fight you. Anyway.
Dog, I was just fucking with you.
I'm not about to fight you.
I'm fucking with you.
You're being a terrorist. You should be banned from Twitter. Ban these terrorist scum from Twitter. Hashtag ban these terrorists. I feel threatened. Anyway.
Whatever, nigga.
So what you got?
I got nothing, man. I just want to say I've been really enjoying getting back into Doom shit.
Shit like what? Shit like what?
Operation Doomsday, Food, and of course just listening to Matt Villain all over again.
Oh, you said Doom shit. I thought you said doing shit.
No, Doom shit.
I get it now. Yes. I hope everybody is getting brushed up on their Doom. Very important artist, very important voice.
Yeah.
Very important discography to the overall fabric of the culture. That's great. I don't want to talk about Doom because talking about Doom makes me sad still. So I'm going to pivot this.
No, I just wanted to say I just really appreciated going back into that. We could just
I get it.
We could veer off into some other shit.
Trust me, I get it. What was I about to take this? Oh right, I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk is actually really fun. And I think that now that like the hate moaner has subsided in a lot of people are gonna start picking it back up and be like, all right, this is actually a really fun game with good core gameplay, excellent acting, voice acting, graphics are next level, of course. Just overall a really fun game, and I hope a lot of people are having fun playing it now that some patches will come through and fix some of the critical errors.
Yeah.
What else? I'm having a lot of fun with the Kill It Crimson series, directing that. I'm having a lot of fun with Lake Effect Tech being a contributor over there. James, who's never over here on the Shitpost Boys podcast again for some reason.
Peace to James, peace to Crim.
Yeah, peace to James, peace to Crim. Peace to Mark Cooper, who just got a new gig as music supervisor for American Anime Studio, which is super, super dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah, like shit is good for the most part. I'm still feeling how I feel at the top of January, mid-January, the way I always do right now. But it's going good for the most part. I shouldn't be bitching about it.
Mm-hmm.
Peace to my homie Ryan, though, who actually lost his dad a couple of days ago.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, January is a rough time. He's had a rough few years. Like, he lost his grandma 1 year. His grandfather the first 3 years ago. His grandfather. 2 years ago. Last year. 2 years ago, his grandfather. Last year, his grandmother. And this year, his father. So, I want to send out all the love and support I can to him. Because he needs it right now. I don't have the greatest answers for him. Because, like I've told everybody else who's dealt with the kind of grief I've dealt with, I can't really make it. There's no fix. I was fucked up that first year. I was fucked up the majority of that second year. 3 years removed, I was still periodically fucked up. 4 years now, I'm at the top of January and still really fucked up about it. There's no fix, honestly. You can hope for the best.
Not at all.
Things can happen, but there can still be a tremendous weight on your chest that doesn't move itself. It hasn't moved itself from me just yet. Maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, if I'm so lucky as to live that long. But yeah, man, that shit doesn't just go away. There's no miracle fix for it. There's no amount of yoga, no amount of loose tea, no amount of I don't know. I can't say there's no amount of medical shit because I've never taken pills or anything for it. I've done therapy. I've done things that are meant to help. Or supposed to guide you towards a healthier outcome overall. And that's kind of the thing when it comes to grief. The majority of the stuff that they can offer you is just to make your overall health kind of compensate for how low it is that you feel. You could be healthy as fuck, but still depressed. But since you're healthy as fuck, it won't take as much of a toll on your body, which is a good thing in the grand scheme. Shout out to my homie Jim. We finally got his drone back, so expect a lot of aerial shit from me that I'm gonna probably do, or he's gonna do and send me. As far as photography stuff, make sure you follow a 9Deuce on all platforms. Make sure you're keeping up with the music. Make sure you're keeping up with the eventual vlog shit. Once this nigga sends me some footage, you tall piece of shit.
I'm sorry, were you referring to me?
Yes. I need footage.
I know comprehend.
How am I supposed to make some shit happen with no footage?
I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know how to help you.
Nigga, I'm trying to help you. Help me help you, motherfucker.
Okay, I suppose.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I guess.
Other than that, I don't know. I'm happy that it's bittersweet that a lot of shit that started years and years ago that I was into big are kind of coming to a close. I think one of the big moments for me early on, uh, not early on, one of the big moments for me in the last few years was like the end of like the Avengers saga in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that was a big thing for me because like my dad would take me to like when Hulk dropped and Iron Man and the Avengers one dropped. So like those movies, those franchises mean a lot to me from that era. Um, and to see them come to an end is beautiful. You know, I have my gripes with how certain shit about the movies went, but it is what it is. Um, Within that, I don't think I'm gonna start whatever new shit that they about to start up. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it, so I'm not gonna fuck with it. To be completely honest, not gonna do it. Um, Attack on Titan is another thing that's starting to come to an end now. That started about 10 years ago. Uh, and that's also something that's bittersweet for me because there's these things that I hold very close, these things I enjoyed so much that, you know, like, damn, like, fuck, I want to talk to my dad about this shit. I know he didn't care about, like, Attack on Titan and shit like that. But, like, I still wanted to talk, like, bro, like, the writing in the show, the direction of how the story has went up to this point and how it's coming full circle and how it reminds me of those early on episodes again. Just kind of brings me back to that place where it was just like, you know, I really enjoy this, and there's certain things that I enjoy that are ending. And I'm not one of those people that's so jaded and pessimistic. Like I want to enjoy no new shit, but like a lot of new shit I just can't rock with. A lot of new things I can't rock with. It's a lot of old things that are still going that I can't not rock with, and I'm not gonna mention because people get all in their feelings about it. But I don't know, like yeah, man. A lot of things are coming to an end. A lot of things that I enjoyed, for lack of better phrasing, back when I enjoyed things are coming to an end. Which is good because I don't want them to go into infinity. But it's also like a very sobering moment as I'm watching these moments I've been anticipating for quite some time. And it reminds me of that time. Anyway, um, anything else you wanted to touch on?
Um, I'm just hoping to have a good week. I gotta leave up out of here in 30 minutes for work. Just hoping to have a productive week and have another great weekend. Hopefully, like
I
the
hope you have
cycle
a
just
productive week
continues.
too. Get
That
some fucking video, nigga.
I'll think about that.
Trying to help your career, and you just like I don't want to do it. Do it.
Fam, I have a
Try it.
particular thing that I am
I
trying to
know,
do.
but like also just let me do the companion shit. Trust my instincts. Char had a very particular
Okay.
vision that she had for Kelly Crimson, and it slowly but surely morphed into my vision. And she's like, "Yeah, this was a good idea." Yes, I be having good ideas sometimes. If it's a bad idea, I don't bring it to you. I promise. I know when
All
something is
right.
a terrible idea and when it ain't. Usually, I police my thoughts well for other people. I don't police my thoughts very well for myself sometimes. Some shit is like, that's a terrible idea. We gonna do it anyway, ain't we? Yep. Fuck. So yeah, man. Um, any final shout outs? I think we got most of them off.
Um, I I got nobody. Yeah, we did say shout out Krim, shout out Jim, shout out Mark, and shout out James. Yeah. You're right.
Shout out my little cousin Chris. who is having some kind of a hard time. We haven't talked yet. He's supposed to be here. I don't know what's going on with him, but I gotta hit him up at some point. See what's cracking over there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That's the show.
I hope y'all are out there still social distancing. I hope y'all are out there taking this shit serious. I hope you're considering the vaccine if you're somebody who's active in the public like I am. I don't want you to be afraid of what people put out here because they're afraid. I don't want their fear to cause a feedback loop and make you fearful. I'm looking forward to higher production quality this year. I'm looking forward to actually pushing the podcast this year. I'm looking forward to people actually enjoying what it is that we do here a little bit more. Like this is my thing right now. Like everything else is assisting somebody else's vision, but like this is my vision right here. This is what I put a lot of thought into. The tone, like even when it's just like crazy wild shit, like I still put a lot of thought into how I present these things and how I talk about these things now. So I take this very seriously, and it's something I'm proud of as something I built. Like I listened back to episode 0 today with Ryan because he never heard episode 0, and it's like the audio quality has gone up. I feel like we're a lot more tempered, a lot better at what we do now. I listen to every episode, obviously, before I upload it, just to try to adjust for any little weird shit that pops up as far as like audio artifacts and things of that nature. But I care about this shit a lot. I really want to start growing this shit. I really want to start showing people this shit. I really want to start like getting people into it. Now that I feel like we kind of found a rhythm and found a method. It's not something that I would downplay anymore. It's definitely something I will wear first. Proudly. Anyway, I ran long enough. John, if you don't got shit else, I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro, bro.
All right, bro.
Oh shit, we forgot our sponsors. Shut the fuck
I didn't.
Shut the fuck
I didn't. I was just like, are we gonna do it? I wasn't sure. I was like, do we do an episode where we don't shout out our sponsors?
We gotta shout out our sponsors. Shutting the fuck up is still absolutely free. If ever you feel as though you are compelled to say some things, instead, just shut the fuck up. Don't let nobody compel you into saying anything that you don't want to fucking say. Don't let anybody compel you into some shit that you don't really believe in. You can always just shut the fuck up. It's absolutely free. They've been taking care of us for a very long time. They are still completely overstocked. They still are giving this shit away for free. They're still offering to pay you to take some of this shit off their hands.
Exactly.
Warehouse. They've never seen the fucking floor of the warehouse. It's never been visible. It's always been stockpiled. So please, if you're considering take for your consideration, even if it's just a little bit of sample of it, just the tiniest bit, just see if it don't change your life up a little bit. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right, Shitpost Boys, first official show of 2021. 10 days in, and I want to be more consistent about that because it broke my heart when I looked up and it was like it had been like a month since we did the last episode that I uploaded. Speaking of, I just uploaded a big double New Year's episode for everybody. So if you're listening to this, hopefully you've already heard that prior episode, and if you haven't, hopefully you're going back and you're going to check that out because I literally uploaded that while we were doing this. So you got hours of content. For your commute, or your boredom at work, or if you just enjoy finding some new shit, or you finally actually listening to it for the first time, you got some content out there. I hope you really enjoy it. All right, John, I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro. I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro now.
Right.
All right, Shitpost Boys. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.